Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome to the University of Adelaide graduation ceremony. This afternoon's ceremony is for the graduates from the Faculty of Arts, Business, Law and Economics. The ceremony will commence very shortly. The university has a contract photographer to provide photography services during the ceremony. If you wish to take photos, I'll ask that you do so discreetly, seated from your seat, and please do not use flash. To maintain the ceremony's sense of occasion, please switch off your mobile phones or turn them to silent. And in the case of emergency, please follow the direction of staff members. The emergency assembly point is the Goodman Crescent Lawns, which is to the western side of Benithan Hall. The evacuation plan for this can be found on page 9 of your program. For safety reasons, anybody upstairs, please do not enter the galleries along the side, and please do not sit on the steps in the balcony area. Before we begin, I'll kindly ask that you direct your attention to the detailed order of proceedings, which will guide us through today's ceremony. Accompanying this, you will find the graduation ceremony booklet, which serves as a cherished memento of this day. We'll have the academic procession come through in about 5 minutes or so. So in the meantime, please enjoy yourselves and I'll be back soon. Thank you. The academic procession is about to enter the hall. We will be singing the national anthem, and the words for this are on page 8 of your program. Please now stand if you're comfortably able to do so for the academic procession, and remain standing for the national anthem. Thank you.
seated. I, Catherine Branson, Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, declare open this congregation convened for the purpose of awarding degrees. Distinguished guests, parents, friends, relatives, most importantly, those of you graduating this afternoon, welcome to the University of Adelaide's graduation ceremony. Gana Miana, Gana Yata, Nadalu Thambande, we recognise that we're on Kaurna land. We acknowledge the Kaurna people, past and present, the original custodians of the Adelaide Plains, and thus of the land on which all of the University of Adelaide's campuses are built. We acknowledge their ongoing spiritual connection to this beautiful land. Graduates, your graduation is an event in which I hope you take great pride. I know your friends and other supporters take great pride in your success, as does the University of Adelaide. I commend your choices to study variously humanities and music. These are important disciplines for the well-being of the community and society more generally. I know you'll make a positive contribution once you leave this hall today. Your graduation day, you might think, is an opportunity to reflect, to think about what brought you here and what the future holds for you now you have the qualification that you'll receive this afternoon. I'm confident that wherever your future takes you, that what you've learned here, the skills you've developed here, will stand you in excellent stead. I hope not just in your professional and working life, but in all aspects of your life. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce to you today's graduation orator. Professor Jenny Shaw is the Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Vice President Academic of the University of Adelaide, where she oversees support for all students from enrolment through to graduation, as well as being responsible for teaching excellence and the student experience. Jenny holds a Bachelor of Laws with First-Class Honours and a Bachelor of Arts with First-Class Honours, and the University Medal from the University of Sydney. Also, she has a Diploma in Piano Performance, a Master of Arts, and a PhD from the State University of New York. Jenny commenced her academic career by lecturing in music in the United States before returning to Australia in the late 1990s to lecture in law and music. With a background in music research and teaching, Jenny is a former head of school and Associate Dean of the Sydney Conservatorium of Music at the University of Sydney. She is also head of the School of Arts, as well as Pro-Vice Chancellor and Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences at the University of New England, before joining the University of Adelaide in 2013 as Executive Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences, later at the Faculty of Arts. Jenny has also worked as a facilitator in alternative dispute resolutions and as an adjudicator in the concrete construction industry, a woman of broad talent, you'll see. She is currently a reviews editor for the journal Musicology Australia and sits on a number of advisory and governing boards in Australia, including the Australian Music Examinations Board and the Helpman Academy for the Visual and Performing Arts. Jenny is passionate about helping students from all backgrounds reach their full potential. We're privileged to hear her speak today. Please welcome Professor Jenny Shaw.
Chancellor, the Honourable Catherine Branson, ACSC, Professor Jodie Conduit, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Business, Law and Economics, distinguished guests, University of Adelaide staff and colleagues in attendance today, and graduates. I would first also like to acknowledge that we meet on the lands of the Indigenous Kaurna people and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And I also acknowledge all First Nations peoples present at this graduation. And I'm delighted that graduating today with their degrees in arts and in music are some of our 30 Indigenous students who will have graduated over the last week. You are already role models for those who follow you, and we're very proud of you. Now, as an insider to this great university, I have the honour and privilege of knowing many of you. First, to parents, partners, children, siblings, other family members and friends of the graduands, thank you for all that you have done to get your special person and our graduate here today. So now for many of you, many of our graduates, this is their first degree. And with that degree being in arts or music, you may be wondering for just how long you'll need to continue to support them. And I can assure you that support is a great investment in what I'm sure for all of them will be rewarding careers. And the best examples of that are many of our other graduates who have returned today to get their second or third degree, who already have established and in many cases distinguished and world-leading careers in their fields. Secondly, to my colleagues and our wonderful professional, academic and researching staff, many of whom are up here on stage but also listening online. So on the stage with me today, we have some of the world's best writers, literature specialists, comedians, historians, composers, music technicians, conductors, guitarists, pianists, health researchers, marketing researchers, social and cultural scientists and lawyers. And up here is also our head of the School of Dentistry, who is one of at least 3 staff on stage who have a family member graduating. So these colleagues are some of the best in the world at what they do, and they are here today to celebrate our achievements with you, your achievements with you, and to recognise your accomplishments. Third, to the graduates. And you know me from the emails you got from me welcoming you, many of you during the pandemic time, and then the very many emails you got from me reminding you to do lots of stuff. So I'm thrilled that I know many of you more personally. I've read your essays, heard your debates and presentations, listened to and enjoyed your solo recitals, chamber music, jazz, orchestral and music theatre performances. I've admired you supporting your peers and volunteering at student events. A couple of you have even worked as my interns, and some of you are my friends. A few of you breezed through your studies, a very few of you, but most of you have faced adversity. You've struggled academically or with finances, with injury or illness, with time management, with interpersonal interactions or with your mental health. And some of you have suffered with grief and loss. But you are here today, so I know you are already amazing and will go on to do interesting and transformative things. But I want to focus on the importance of today, and I'm so glad that you've come today. I absolutely love graduations. And for many of you today, you will have taken care to have selected just the right outfit and the right shoes. And you'll be heading out afterwards to celebrate with photos and flowers and family and friends. And that's what you should do. But also make time to remember how you feel today. Excited, nervous, proud. My parents came to my first undergraduate graduation, and I still remember how proud they were. My master's graduation was in the United States, and I got the shock of my life when my father actually turned up in New York for it. Unfortunately, not dreaming they would ever attend, I'd been very casual with telling my parents the exact date, and my dad turned up a day early and couldn't stay for the actual graduation event. Instead, he came to our School of Music graduation afternoon tea and met my friends and my teachers, and he stayed at our share house, and I have a vague, slightly embarrassing recollection of him dancing in the lounge room at our share house graduation party. It was the 90s, it was low-key. But he and we had a great time. I came back to Australia to finish my law degree, and again, I remember my parents bursting with pride and relief at that graduation. By then, my father had been battling an aggressive cancer for 5 years. I came up on stage, as you will, and the Chancellor congratulated me, as our Chancellor will you, and then said to me, "Acknowledge your father." Dad had been a leading academic in medical research at that university for over a decade. He and my mother were sitting in the front row, Dad with an unmistakable aura of one who is walking that fine line between life and death. I did doff my hat and acknowledge my father, but those mortarboards, as you know, are not designed for stability, let alone doffing. And with parchment in one hand and wonky mortarboard obscuring my view in the other, and of course on impossibly high heels, it was the 90s, I promptly messed up my stage right exit and crossed down into the audience and in front of the sole camera filming the event. So on my graduation recording, the only view of the poor person graduating after me is my wonky mortarboard. So luckily today, we have multiple camera crews on site, so for those of you who mess up that stage exit, don't worry. Now, it's tradition for the orator to share words of wisdom, and don't mess up your stage exit could be mine, but I just want to focus on the bigger picture for a moment. You'll hear people describe your graduation as a milestone, and it is, but it's also a transition. I think of graduation as a key, and now it's up to you to find out if it's a key that opens one particular door or it opens up many doors. Of course, there will be times where you doubt yourself, but remember what you achieved to get this award and have faith in yourself and try to live a life without regrets. You have deep knowledge and ability, you can think critically and creatively and logically, and you have already demonstrated exactly the skills our uncertain, chaotic but beautiful world needs right now. 20 years from now, you may not remember what you wore or where you celebrated, but bottle up those feelings of joy and self-worth. Without resorting to the photographic record, I don't remember what I wore at my Lord graduation, but I do remember the pride felt by my parents and partner, made even more memorable as my father died 3 months later, aged just 56. But it's a great memory I have of him from that graduation day. So today, take the time to enjoy the pride we feel in you and that you should feel in yourself. We hope the award you're receiving today opens up the right door for you, and congratulations. Thank you.
On behalf of the graduates and their families attending today's ceremony, I would like to thank Professor Jenny Shaw for her stimulating and inspiring address. We are honoured that you have taken the time to join us on this special day to share with us your thoughts and experiences. Your words of encouragement and advice are greatly appreciated. They remind us that education places upon each of us an enduring responsibility to make the best possible use of our talents and to contribute to the betterment of society in whichever way we can. Please join me in once again thanking Professor Jenny Shaw.
I will now receive the candidates for degrees. I call on the Executive Dean.
Chancellor, I, Professor Jodie Conduit, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Business, Law and Economics, certify to you and the whole University that the graduates who will be presented here today have fulfilled the conditions prescribed for admission to the ward for which they are presented.
I, Catherine Branson, Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, by virtue of the power committed to me by the University, confirm that each graduate is admitted to the rank and privileges of a holder of the award in the University of Adelaide for which they are so presented. I call on the head of the School of Humanities, Professor Andrew van der Vlies, to present the graduates.
Chancellor, I, Head of the School of Humanities, Professor Andrew van der Vlies, present to you graduates from the Faculty of Arts, Business, Law and Economics. To the Diploma in Arts, Dylan Montserrat. To the degree of Bachelor of Peace and Conflict Studies, Liliane Rose McElroy. To the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Yusuf Gibran bin Ahmed Isa. Katrina Rose Alexander. Alexander Alfonso. Abigail Christine Berry. Olivia Abby Brookman. Stella Eve Ciotti. Ella Isabel Cook. Devon Cox. Tanusha Kirpin. Edgar Nicholas Daniel Richards. Madeline Jane DiGennaro. Dale Peter Edwards. Ruby May Fewings. Also receiving the Diploma in Languages, J. Thomas Fowle. Katie Selina Gardner. Georgina Emma Jane Giesoff. Isabella Jane Gill. Bianca Glassen. Also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Sophie Eleanor Goodale. Melissa Ann Halls. Caitlin Emma Harris. Amy Heydrich. Atia Harriman. Neve Elizabeth Hughes. Karina Ann Ivory. Lucy Johnson. Sophie Eloise Kamenia. Matthew Joshua Kelland. Nathan Liberali. Eloise Daisy Morris. Phoebe Nelson. Saskia Una Heathcote Nichols. Darcy O'Sullivan. Mitchell Connor Renton. Alex Joyce Revel. Jackson Thomas Rosewall. Grace Elizabeth Ryan. Chantel May Saunders. Emily Rose Savage. Amber Catherine Tilley. Hannah Frances Tindley. Tess Adele Todd. Kathleen Sinead Vincent Lucas. Sasha Koniko Visari. Saskia Pearl Walsh. Isabel Grace Ward. Cleo Wasem Sharp. Belinda Caroline Wells. Lily Roslyn Gray Winter. And Jingyu Zhu. To the degree of Bachelor of Arts Advanced, Taffy Shane Adams. Vunga Amarasena. Mohammad Amin Daregbagi. Georgina Julia Devine. Caitlin Flora Ann Dunn. Alexander Thomas Forbes. Also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Charles Henry Glonek. Mari Ihara Lim. Yang Yun Kim. Anna Nguyen, Riley Powell, Nicola Petrucco, Ella Grace Schrappel, Joshua Luke Schubert, Ebony Werner, Isabella Robin Wheatland, and Monique Isabella Dean Woods. To the honours degree of Bachelor of Arts, Emily Grace Boyer. Nathan Kane. Vanessa Neris Caparella. William Merritt Johannes Clark. Sabrina Donato. Keely Ems. Chloe Hissey. Tianchan Ju. Charlotte Grace Kovold. Caitlin Africa Litchfield. Jack Douglas Patterson. Caitlin Pretty. Beck William Rouse. Adela May Queel Teubner. Eliza Thomas. And Anthony Christopher Zugras. To the degree of Master of Arts, Interpreting, Translation and Transcultural Communication, Yan Ying Leung. And Hoi Kiu Eunice Tsui. To the degree of Master of Arts, Amaka Esther Ndu. Chancellor, this concludes these graduates from the Faculty of Arts, Business, Law and Economics.
Chancellor, I, Director of the Elder Conservatorium of Music, Professor Anna Goldsworthy, present to you graduates from the Elder Conservatorium of Music. To the degree of Bachelor of Music Theatre, Sasha Jack Debney Matizik. Alana Marie Ianez. Oliver Adam Hayter John. Grace Jones. Amy Michelle McCann. Yelena Nickdow. J. Anthony Scott. Emily Claire Simmons. Brendan Tomlins. Sophie Grace Volpe. Darcy Wayne. Lillianne Anna Faye Walker. And Patrick Andrew John Wilson. To the Bachelor of Music, Creative Practice, Benjamin Eric Batelli. Grace Ella Johnston. And Joshua Kent Craig Rogers. To the degree of Bachelor of Music, Advanced Classical Performance, Lucy Sarah Ryan. To the degree of Bachelor of Music, Advanced, Alexander Joe Byrne. Erin Ann Carnegie Brown. James Alexander Ho. Jackson Torren Mack. Liam Alexander McBride. And Finn Pierre Pattinson. To the degree of Bachelor of Music, Sonic Arts, also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Yu Wei Roxanne Chan. Joel William Murray. Erie Julius Roach. And Jasper Drew Tuddenham. To the degree of Bachelor of Music, Popular Music, Hugo Begnini. Elijah Jordan Haroon Bilby. Aidan Lee Chibich. Scarlett Lane Donovan. Caitlin Louise Greatrex. Hamish Angus McComb. And Zoe Ameshe Malloy. To the degree of Bachelor of Music, Music Performance Jazz, also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Sophie Elizabeth Philippa Davies. To the degree of Bachelor of Music, Music Education and Pedagogy, Noah Tristan Hensel. Sanford Gia Kaisia. Samuel Wayan Sotratma. John Robert Stoddart. Ho Wing Wong. And Ada Maria Vichinka. To the degree of Bachelor of Music Jazz Performance, Jack Hawker Barton. Kieran Elijah Taijun Beasley. Daisy Grace Davidson. Emily Brooklyn Dennis. Victoria Katsoulis. Morgan Burt Miller. Will Brodie Morley. Marina Anthea Olenik. David Thomas Penberthy. Timothy Thomas Shepherd. Jesse Nathaniel Sprayson. And Curtis Darren Warden. To the degree of Bachelor of Music Composition, Kayla Erin Hinton. Christopher Nelson Mann. And Ty Ethan Robinson. To the degree of Bachelor of Music Classical Voice, Boufan Zhang. To the degree of Bachelor of Music Classical Performance, Vasily Janakorius. Annalise Caitlin Jeffery. Martha Na or Afionya Tupau Johansson. Sheen Yu Leo. James Marcus Logan. Greg Darrell Perkins. Neil Perkins. Hope Alice Voyo Pensoris. Daniel John Shepherd, Hao Su, and also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Diploma in Languages, Abigail Percival Sutherland. To the degree of Bachelor of Music, Prudence Jane Cartledge. To the Honours degree of Bachelor of Music, Sonic Arts, Daniel James Linke. To the Honours degree of Bachelor of Music, Jazz Performance, Millie Sarah Curry. Tiffany Jennifer Gaze. Fiona O'Connor. And Mark Timothy Thorpe. To the Honours degree of Bachelor of Music Creative Practice, Oliver James Foose. To the Honours degree of Bachelor of Music Classical Performance, Sophie Ann Cridland. Ewan William Safey. And Isabella Rose Van Lonen. To the degree of Master of Music Performance Studies, Sia Chen. To the degree of Master of Music Performance and Pedagogy, Linchi Jin. To the degree of Doctor of Philosophy for a thesis entitled From Piano to Orchestra, a Creative Exploration of the Challenges in Moving Between These Different Sound Worlds, Dr. Giuseppe Candamo. And for a thesis entitled Angelo Persichilli, Raymond Guillot, and the Accademia Italiano del Flauto, Dr. Anna Louise Henwood. Chancellor, this concludes the graduates from the Elder Conservatorium of Music.
Chancellor, Every year, the university presents university medals to acknowledge the most outstanding graduates in each faculty who have completed a University of Adelaide bachelor's degree with honours or a bachelor's degree of at least 4 years' duration. The university medals are awarded to them for their consistent, outstanding performance across the whole of their undergraduate studies. I, Professor Jodie Conduit, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Business, Law and Economics, present to you the recipients of the 2024 University Medal from the Elder Conservatorium of Music, Jenny Sue. And from the Faculty of Arts, Business, Law and Economics, Jack Patterson. Chancellor, University Doctoral Research Medals are awarded to graduates who have completed outstanding research at a doctoral level. This award is the premier award for doctoral candidates at the university. I, Professor Jodie Conduit, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Business, Law and Economics, present to you a recipient of the 2024 University Doctoral Research Medal for research in the field of music, Dr. Anna Louise Henwood.
I'm delighted now to introduce to you Owen Safi, who received this afternoon a Bachelor of Music with honours. Ewan will give the valedictory address on behalf of the cohort of graduates who received their awards this afternoon.
The struggles of being a short person, I tell you that. Kia ora koutou katoa. Good afternoon, esteemed faculty members, graduates, and our dear valued friends and family. I stand in front of you as yet another New Zealander who has crossed the Dutch, so to speak, in search of greater things. A triumph of Australia-New Zealand diplomacy, if you will. Yet, when I arrived here to study conducting last February, I thought I'd made the wrong move. Why, I asked myself, hadn't I just bitten the bullet and gone straight to Europe to pursue my music studies? In fact, it was none other than many of you locals who delighted in disparaging this city, telling me how quiet it was and relishing the irony of the name Radelaide. I couldn't tell you the number of times I was asked, so why Adelaide? For those first few days I grew quite anxious, but then I had my first few classes with my fellow conducting students, my first session conducting the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra, my first day at the Fringe. I realised fairly quickly that I was going to enjoy myself here in Adelaide. I subsequently had one of the most artistically fulfilling years of my life and have developed a whole new network of close friends and colleagues with whom I can share ideas, music and good wine. The latter being another reason why I've had such a good time here. Now, I'm going to be an insufferable musician and continue to insert musical references in this speech, but arguably I'm now qualified to do so. So, the great conductor Leonard Bernstein once said, "To achieve great things, two things are needed: plan and not quite enough time." These are words which I'm sure a great many of you in this room can relate to, and which I think sum up the university experience quite nicely. I'm sure some of you managed your time well, and to you I say good for you. But for the rest of us, to get where we are right now, we have all fought the time crunch and achieved great things, evidenced by the degrees we all hold now. Diamonds are made under pressure after all. I'd like to personally congratulate you all wholeheartedly for your hard work and your remarkable achievements. Lenny would be proud. I'd also like to, on behalf of the graduates, thank the support crews behind each one of us, many of whom are here today or watching online, the support of family members, fellow students, friends, mentors, and of course our dedicated teachers who would often go above and beyond to ensure we had what we needed to succeed. It takes a village to raise a child, they say. Well, I say it takes just as much to get a student to finish their degree. So hats off to you all for helping and for coming along for the ride with us. I invite all my fellow graduates to stand and offer a warm round of applause and gratitude for their generous support. That's also how the people doing the student addresses get a free standing ovation, so thank you very much. However, this is not where it ends. Life has a funny habit of keeping on going. As we are unleashed on the world with our freshly printed certificates and a wealth of new knowledge and skills, I challenge you all to keep an open mind, not just to differing opinions or beliefs, but to also the trajectory your life is taking. There's an Oscar Wilde quote that I'm quite fond of, which admittedly should be taken with a grain of salt, but I think holds some wisdom. If you want to be a grocer or a general or a politician or a judge, you will invariably become it. That is your punishment. If you never know what you want to be, if you live what some might call the dynamic life, if each day you are unsure of who you are and what you know, you will never become anything, and that is your reward. While this may just seem like a well-worded excuse for unemployment, I'm not encouraging you to rip up your degrees and take up the bohemian lifestyle. There can be a joy to letting the tides gently guide you along and seeing where that takes you. You've got the ball rolling, and now it's time to soak in and seek out every experience along the way and see what sort of person it shapes you into. Self-discovery is an exciting and profoundly human experience. As a musician, I know this all too well. I began as a piano major. I got the degree, but I always had this nagging feeling that I wanted to take conducting, which was at that point a side hobby, somewhere further. I started doing workshops, taking courses, and now it's my main driving force and has taught me so much about how I interact with others, how I present myself, and it has strengthened my core values. Through its inherent collaborative nature, it has also taught me how to merge those core values and ideas with those of other people around me, and to learn from them, creating a more unified whole, a quality which I'm sure you would agree the world could do with a little more of in this day and age. I urge you all to not simply coast through life. Continue, of course, to be driven by what matters to you. Use the skills you've learned here to give back to your community, but don't be afraid to be a little dynamic and to keep growing. Follow your instincts. Remain open and enjoy soaking in new experiences and relish that thirst for knowledge that made you enroll in the first place. This is what keeps life exciting and creates well-rounded members of society. I'm personally fully aware that the road towards my eventual career is unclear, undefined, and not without its struggles. And yet I persist because music is what my soul runs on. And I'm willing and open to taking whatever opportunities arise to take me further on that journey. We are infinitely more fulfilled people and frankly more fun to be around if we take a leaf out of Oscar Wilde's book. In the end, graduates, be humble, make mistakes, and keep learning, and use your driving convictions to inspire others. Give love to those around you, and finally, be kind to yourself, and allow yourself the joy of learning and growing from whatever life throws at you. Have fun in the real world, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
It now gives me great pleasure to congratulate as a cohort all the new graduates here today. Be proud of what you've achieved, but as Ewan has reminded you, remember those who supported you along the way. As graduates of the University of Adelaide, you now become its alumni, and its ambassadors. Over the more than 150 years since this university was established, its alumni have made enormous contributions all around the world. Today you join this group of more than 174,000 alumni who can be found in more than 148 countries in the world. We have 21 global alumni networks and 8 of them are international networks. I hope you might think of joining one of those networks and staying in contact with your university. Let me now thank the Mace Bearer, Anna Henwood, and the Valedictorian, you and Sophie, and all who assisted in the organisation and running of today's event. As a final part of this ceremony, could I invite the graduates to remain seated while I invite everybody else who comfortably can to stand and join me in one last ringing round of applause for this afternoon's graduates. Would the audience please remain standing, and I invite the graduates now to stand for the academic recession. We ask our guests, once the academic recession has left the hall, to remain in their place, and staff of the university will help you exit the hall as efficiently as possible. I now declare this congregation adjourned.